It happens on a Tuesday. Nothing about the day warns you. You're late for work. You take the shortcut through the parking garage on Clement Street like you always do. Level 2, northeast stairwell, the one that smells like exhaust and old concrete. You've walked it 1,000 times. You could do it with your eyes closed. You almost don't look up, but you do. And that's the thing about the moment that ends your life as you know it. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't give you a chance to turn around. You look up and you see 3 men in a gray utility van. The side door is open. 2 of them are loading something into the back. The third is watching the entrance. He's wearing a badge on a lanyard. So are the other 2. Government issue. You've seen that style before. Your uncle worked for the EPA for 20 years. Same clip, same font, same faded blue lanyard. What they're loading is a body bag. You stop walking. You shouldn't stop walking. Every part of your brain that is still working correctly is screaming at you to keep moving. Eyes forward, shoes on concrete, don't break stride. But your feet stop, and the man watching the entrance sees your feet stop. He looks at you. You look at him. It lasts 1 second, maybe less. Then you walk, fast, faster than normal. You don't run because running means you saw something and you know you saw something, and you need them to believe you didn't. You get to your car, you sit inside. Your hands are shaking too hard to get the key in the ignition. You tell yourself it was nothing, a medical team, a routine removal, something that has a perfectly reasonable explanation. You're too panicked to think of right now. You tell yourself that for 6 blocks. Then you stop telling yourself anything because your phone rings. Unknown number. You answer it without thinking. Silence. Then a voice. Flat. Unhurried. You should have kept walking. They hang up. You call the police. Of course you do. You sit in the parking lot of a grocery store 3 miles away and you tell the dispatcher what you saw. She takes your name and your number and tells you someone will follow up. A detective calls you back in 40 minutes. He asks you to describe what you saw. You do. He listens without interrupting. When you finish, he's quiet for a moment. Then, he tells you these situations are often misread by civilians, that government agencies conduct authorized operations in urban areas regularly, that, without more information, there isn't much they can do. He thanks you for calling. He tells you to have a good evening. You hang up and sit in your car and understand for the first time that the call you just made may have been a mistake. 3 days pass. Nothing happens. You start to breathe again. You go to work. You eat dinner. You sleep. By the 3rd night, you've almost convinced yourself it's over. Then you come home, and your apartment is wrong. Not obviously wrong. Nothing is missing. Nothing is broken. But your kitchen chair is 2 inches from where you left it. The book on your nightstand is face down when you always leave it face up. The cabinet above your sink is open, and you never leave it open. Someone has been inside your home. Someone who wanted you to know they'd been inside your home. You call the police again. Different detective this time. He takes a report. He tells you he'll send someone to dust for prints. Nobody comes. You buy a deadbolt. You buy a camera. You point it at your front door and watch the feed from your phone. On the 4th night at 2:17 in the morning, you watch a man stand outside your door for 11 minutes. He doesn't knock. He doesn't try the handle. He just stands there facing the door, hands at his sides. Then he leaves. You stop sleeping. You tell your sister. She's the only person you trust enough to tell. She listens and then she asks if you're sure, and you show her the camera footage. She stops asking if you're sure. She tells you to come stay with her in Portland. You almost go. You book the flight. You're packed. Then your sister calls you back. Her voice lower this time, quieter. She says 2 men came to her office asking questions about you. They had credentials. They were polite. They asked how often you 2 speak, whether you've seemed stressed lately, whether you've mentioned anything unusual. Her hands were shaking when she called. You can hear it in her voice. You cancel the flight. You don't want to bring this to her door any more than you already have. You go to a journalist instead, someone who covers federal agencies, the kind of reporter who has sources inside buildings you've never heard of. You meet her in a diner 2 towns over. You tell her everything. She listens with her hands flat on the table, not taking notes, just listening. When you finish, she's quiet for a long moment. Then she tells you she's heard rumors, not about this specifically, but about a program, something that moves quietly through cities, something that has been operating longer than anyone currently in office has known about. She tells you she needs time. She tells you not to contact her directly. She's the one who contacts you 6 days later. 1 text from a number you don't have saved. 4 words. I found something. Meet me. You go. She isn't there. You wait 40 minutes in the parking lot of the address she sent. Then a man sits down in the passenger seat of your car. You didn't hear him coming. The door just opened and he was there. He's older, calm, wearing a jacket with no logos. He doesn't introduce himself. He tells you the journalist is fine. He tells you she made a smart decision. He looks at you the way you'd look at something you've already decided what to do with. He says you have 2 options. The first option is that you sign a document, take a number, and live the rest of your life without mentioning any of this to anyone. You'll be monitored, he says, not aggressively, but consistently. The document carries legal weight in federal court. If you talk, it won't be a warning that comes next. The second option, he says. He leaves a pause, long enough to be its own sentence. He tells you to think carefully. Then he gets out of the car. He closes the door. By the time you look up, you can't see him anywhere. You drive home. You sit at your kitchen table. You think about the body bag. You think about the badge on the lanyard. You think about the man outside your door at 2:17 a.m. standing there for 11 minutes without making a sound. You open your laptop. You still have the footage. You still have the phone log showing the unknown number. You still have the text from the journalist's burner. You have enough. Maybe not enough for a court, but enough for the internet, enough for people to start asking questions. You could post it right now, all of it. Let it go wide before they have a chance to contain it. Maybe it matters. Maybe it changes something. Maybe it disappears in 6 hours and you've just made everything worse. You hover over the button, then your phone buzzes. A photo, no message, no number attached. It's your sister. Taken today. She's walking out of her office building. She's carrying coffee. She doesn't know anyone is watching her. She has no idea the picture is being taken. She's just walking, the way you walk when you think the world is ordinary and safe and nothing is about to find you in it. You close the laptop. You sign the document 3 days later. A man in a navy suit meets you at a building downtown with no name on the door. You sit across from each other at a table that has nothing on it. He doesn't explain what the document covers. He doesn't tell you what was in the body bag. He doesn't tell you what the program is, or how long it's been running, or how many other people have sat in this chair and signed their name on this line. He just watches while you read. He just watches while you sign. You walk out into the afternoon. People are everywhere. Eating lunch, hailing cabs, walking dogs, living inside a Tuesday that means nothing to them. Nobody looks at you. Nobody knows you were just in that room. Nobody knows what you gave up in there. You go back to the garage on Clement Street one more time. Level 2, northeast stairwell. You stand where you were standing. You look at the spot where the van was parked. The concrete is clean. No marks, no evidence, nothing that would tell you that anything happened here at all. You take the long way to work from now on. You don't look up.